Government have done excellent.
Web them, money, web them, Monty you go web them. Brody on, dot, for Spider-Man, dot, Brody on, dot, we voted man, dot, Brody on, dot, for Spider-Man, dot, Brody on, dot, we voted man, dot. Hello, Mr. Spider, them cannot run you out. No. Flabo got the flame, they could never put it out. No. That Labour Party go leave you in a drain. So, hear me out, my people, let's go Spider rocket.
The government has done excellent. I don't see how they will take the government from there and put on.
Was a hope simply by just walking in. The moment you entered, we should have surrendered right then. You had a vision for all in the community. Your massive project shook the earth under me. All the roads and you light up our fields. Oh Bradley, you are delivering. Voting you now is all we can do to achieve. If this isn't progress, don't wake me up from this dream. By just walking in.
Yes, Lucia, welcome to UWP Working For You.
Surrendered right then. You had a vision for all in the community. Your massive project shook the earth under me. All the roads and you light up our fields. Oh Bradley, you are delivering. Voting you now is all we can do to achieve. If this isn't progress, don't wake me up from
of 2016.
Cause Bradley, you build it yourself from the ground. We all see the progress, so there is no turning back now. For 5 years we know you're working so hard. Bradley and Schwartz, will not give up now, so whatever.
Say good afternoon to Fidelia Braxton. Tout maman sur zèlo ça pour faire qu'on vous mettez ti quoi. And we're going to take you now way back to 2016. Our rally back in 2016 with Mr. Harold Stanislas.
Good night. I bring you special greetings from the lovely constituency of Soufrière-Fosséjac. Soufrière-Fosséjac, one of the first constituencies that will be counted to the United Workers' Party on the night of general elections. My people of Grosile, United Workers' Party is on the victory train. We are on the road to victory, and that victory starts right here in Grosile tonight. We are starting in the north of the island, we are heading down south, we are going west, and then we are heading east. The St. Lucia Labour Party needs to know, as of tonight, that they have no safe seat in St. Lucia. We are coming for a landslide victory, and that is going to be a 17-0 at the next general elections.
Prediction.
My people of Grosile, 2016 is the year of liberation in this country. The year
He was just 5 years too early.
will liberate the people of this great country from the wicked and evil claws of the St. Lucia Labour Party. So tonight, I call on all the single mothers who are home, who do not know how they will send their kids to school tomorrow, to join that liberation movement. I call on all the farmers who have been left behind by the failed agricultural policies of this Labour Party, join the movement. I call on all motorists on this island who are frustrated and disappointed with the conditions of our roads, despite the fact that we are paying over 100% taxes in licensing fees, join the movement. I call on all the sick and shut-in at the hospitals at home who are yearning for a United Workers' Party to deliver world-class healthcare to this country, join the liberation movement. I call on every single mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, join the movement to liberate St. Lucia from the hands of Kenny Anthony and the Labour Party. And my people of Grosile, liberation starts here tonight with Leonard Spider Motut. So I stand on this platform tonight, very proud with the great men and women of the United Workers' Party to support Leonard Spider Motut as your endorsed candidate and your next parliamentary representative. Grosile, you have one of your own. You have a man in Leonard Spider Motut who understands what it means to represent the people. A man who knows that when he runs on a United Workers' Party ticket, representation must be for and of the people. A man who understands that representation must be progressive, it must be of quality, it must be of substance, and representation must be effective. Leonard Spider Motut, my people of Grosile, has worked and delivered to you in this constituency, and he deserves another chance at representing your interest in the House of Assembly. When the people of Labon thought that they would have never seen water in the pipes at home, Leonard Spider Motut delivered to you, the people of Labon. When the sportsmen and women of Grosile asked for lights on the playing field to develop the talent and skills at nights after work, Spider listened and he delivered lights on the field at Grosile. And when the people of Moshi said, Spider, we want you to refurbish those washrooms, the changing rooms, and give us bathrooms, he listened and he delivered. My people of Grosile, Spider Motut knows that when he represented you all 5 years ago under an administration of the United Workers' Party, he had to follow the legacy of the founder of this party. Spider Motit knew that the great Sir John wanted a complete transformation of this constituency. And Rodney Bay Marina is a typical example of Sir John's legacy in Grosley.
Constituency.
So Spider Motit have worked. Today, what do we have in this country? We have a government, my people, which lied its way into office. You have a government under the leadership of Dr. Kenny Anthony. We have a government. Tipima just up Tipima Jacques. A government that made empty promises of jobs, 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 and better days. Yes, it was jobs, 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 and better days, but only for a selected few men and women of the Labour Party. We had a government that came to you, the people of St. Lucia, with this book or manuscript, whatever you may call it, and they said, we are presenting you a blueprint for growth. And today, we can see that the blueprint for growth was the blueprint for disaster. We have an economy in decline. 3 years of negative growth, over 3 years of negative growth. But the Labour Party comes out and tell you that the economy is on the rebound. Tonight, you the people of Grosley and St. Lucia, you have to tell Kenny Anthony and the Labour Party that the only party when in office that can rebound this economy is the United Workers' Party. And I know that the United Workers' Party can rebound this economy because we have done it under the hardest times, and we can and will do it again. My people of Grosley, we have a leader in Dr. Kenny Anthony. When he was in opposition, he told the nation that VAT is an oppressive tax against the people. It was not 1 year that he came into office. He implemented VAT at a rate of 15% on the backs of the people of St. Lucia. And VAT has caused the closure of hundreds of businesses, thousands of jobs, and a great decline in revenue for this country. And he even implemented 15% VAT on funeral expenses. Quand Jean-Pierre Doujic m'a capé VAT. So si nous empêchons, nous connaissons pas moi. We have a government which has increased water by over 60% on the people. You are also paying a tax to desilt the Roseau Dam. It's over 1 year. No work is going on in desilting Roseau Dam. Is that a government that cares about you, the people of St. Lucia? Is that a government that cares about the people of Grosley? The same Labour Party government removed the subsidies on rice, flour, sugar, and made life more difficult for people in this country. And because of that, you have families who can only have 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day. We have in the Labour Party government a government which went about and cut school transportation subsidies for our vulnerable kids. And as if cutting the subsidies,
union is established, of course it will make profits. You see the kind of exorbitant profits that the banks are making. We're not looking for that kind of profit. But one thing you have to know, the profits from that institution will be reinvested in the constituency of Grozile, for the development of Grozile, for the education of people of Grozile, and for the advancement of economic activity in Grozile. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the plans I have for this constituency. Now, after my party has presented its manifesto, rest assured, Spider Kaibao manifesto ipu Grozile too.
Like the Dutch, like the Dutch, like the Dutch. Frog, oh! Brody on. Dot, dot, dot. For Spider-Man, dot, dot. Brody on. Dot, dot, dot. We voting man, dot, dot.
Of the United Workers' Party, the party of the people, that cares about the people, that brings about progress and development, that is synonymous with UWP government whenever we are in office. And you know what? My record of accomplishment in this constituency in the 5 years that you afforded me tells you that I am not bluffing you, that I have what it takes to accomplish those things. I have the will, the desire, and the commitment to implement all of those things. And based on what a man has done, you know what a man can do.
Web them, Bonte, web them, Rodney Bay, web them, Tree, web them, Moshi, we go web them. Hello, Mr. Spider, them cannot run you out.
Salt you, Grozile people. I will not treat you in an undignified way like the present parliamentary representative is treating you. I was so embarrassed and ashamed when I saw what happened this last Christmas. And of course, politicians do that. UWP has done it, Christmas time, to try to bring some cheer, bring a little ham for the people, and so on. But you know what? I think it was disgraceful what Emma Hippolyte did in Grozile. Après, ou hache coupe ham na un morceau. You pas même quoi ou deserve a whole ham. You hache coupe ham na un morceau. Et pour un morceau ham, ou pour buy no ek number telephone. Playing politics with the poor people of Grozile to give them a little ham at Christmas. So that's not genuine concern for the poor and indigent. That is opportunism by a politician abusing the plight of the poor people in this constituency. Uni mun ka kou ide avan, I want a ham, I want a ham. Mwen tan yo di agwa nom moshi, vini ya ki mande pou moso ham. Idi, I want your number. Misi adi mo pan cell phone. Idi, well, no phone, no ham. That is callousness. That is callousness. You don't treat people like that. And haven't you noticed that anytime Emma Hippolyte does any work of charity in Grozile, she puts the poor people on television, parading them, you know, worsening their plight, embarrassing them, just to receive a little hamper. Like I say, national TV busa. Don't think during my time I didn't do charitable work. But I refuse to treat people in an undignified way. Après ba ya mauvais ba ou, me kan embarrasser encore, mettons la TV pour un petit hamper. I will not treat you that way.
Louder than words. Don't be deceived by all those fancy talkers. Action speaks louder than words. Don't be deceived by all those fancy talkers. 'Cause a man can say, he'll turn your night into day. And a man can say, he'll take your sufferings away. And a man can say, he'll roll your dark clouds away. When it comes to doing, showing, you're gonna take some knowing.
Rosalie! I agree with Spider. And the song says it all. That action speaks much louder than words. Words are meaningless unless they have action. So in opening tonight, first of all, let me bring greetings for my constituency, hopefully to be, of Miku South. And I know that they have a posse here from Miku South, and I want to say thank you very much for coming up. I want to say thank you to the supporters of the United Workers' Party for being out here tonight in such great numbers, and to listen to the words of some of the members of this team. And I emphasize the word team. It is going to take a team to resolve the problems that we have of this country. And we have a lot of problems. One of my favorite, and I would be insulting to say to him a politician, but one of the great philosophers, one of the great leaders of this world in our time, Nelson Mandela, he said, action without vision is just passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. And I can say to you that the men and women on this stage tonight understand exactly that. That we have to take the great vision of this party. And we had some of the greatest visionaries we've ever had. And one of those persons was Sir John Compton. And he left for us a quadrant economic development plan. But we, on this platform, have also now added to that. I just want to break for a moment and say that PB 2935, your lights are on. So if you still want your battery, PB 2935. If the men and women on this stage have now taken the ideas they have because they've been going around and listening to what people have had to say and apply those things to the vision that was left for us. And all of them have a track record of being able to do. What I'm so proud about the men and women on this stage, that these people have been earning a living for themselves. They don't depend on government for a handout. They don't depend on being in government to be able to earn a living. And what is great, so many of them, while we've been in opposition, have done better things than they've ever done before. That is what I'm proud about. These are the kinds of people that you want to be able to work for you. These are the kinds of people that you want to be in charge of the affairs of yourself. I want to say to you that if you did not know, but labor is not working. We've seen the unemployment rate increase to almost 25%. We've seen youth unemployment go to almost 48%. 1 out of every 2 young people in this country remains unemployed. But one of the silent killers of this country has been the increase in debt. So when Dr. Anthony increased the VAT, when he took off the subsidy on rice, flour, and sugar, when he increased the price of water by 66%, he did that to generate more money for government. And he generated over $220 million more in revenue for government than they've ever had before. But yet still, the debt of the country continues to increase. In 2011, we spent $100 million a year in financing the debt for St. Lucia. This year is expected that that number will be close to $200 million. So that means $100 million that could have gone to making education better. $100 million that could have made the lives of people in the hospital or healthcare better. $100 million to help students go to school. $100 million that could have been used to invest in young people to help them to open up their businesses. We had to pay that money out to interest instead. And yet the man has the audacity to say to the people of St. Lucia that things are getting better. I listened to this Prime Minister. I heard him say that he finally admitted where the money came to pay for JDA. You heard him? He said they wanted to know where the money came from to pay for JDA. And he said the money came from business people. So I want to ask the Prime Minister, which business people are paying JDA's salary? Is it the same business people that gave you True Value when they gave you the Prado? Or is it the same business people that got to get an ambassadorship in order to be able to protect their millions of dollars? Who are these business people? You say that these are the business people that don't want to see Alan Chasney or Michael Chasney in charge of St. Lucia. That is not good enough. If you have started it, say it all. Tell us who the business people are and what you believe that they're benefiting. What did those business people want from you in order to pay for JD's salary? You further went on. I asked you last week, what is taking place at the new hospital? You said year after year that you're going to open up the hospital, and yet the hospital is not open up. People are suffering from diabetes. People are dying from diabetes. And you had an opportunity at the new hospital to open up a wing in order to facilitate people to be able to get dialysis. There's 11 dialysis machines at the new hospital. They have been there for 3 years. If you are a man of passion, if your party cared and loved the people of St. Lucia like you said, you would have opened up that wing and allowed people to benefit. But no, you continue to give us lie after lie after lie. Mamai Flabo, citizens of St. Lucia, Fair Helen is in trouble. Look what has happened to our police force. Guy Joseph was 100% right when he said Impacts was not United Workers' Party. Impacts was born and was given birth under the Labour government. And look at the continuation of lies. Prime Minister came out and said that he knew that there's a division between the executive and the judicial. So if he understood that, why was he the one in charge of the investigation? Why is it that he's trying to make the DPP to be the scapegoat? Why now, after the DPP has left, that there's only 4 people working in the DPP's office? What has happened to all the cases of all the young men, the young women who are on remand for years? Who is going to resolve their problem? How could you have allowed the DPP to go on leave and not have a replacement? You yourself said you knew that she was going to go on leave. How come you waited till now to solve that problem? These are the lies that the Labour Party continues to give us. But I'm not interested in those lies. As I said, United Workers' Party does not want to win because of the failures of the Labour government. We want to win because of the vision that we have. And there's an acronym called ACT. Action changes things. And that is who the United Workers' Party is. That is who these men and women are men and women of action. And that we intend to change things to make things great in St. Lucia. Because you know what? When I go around and I meet the young people of this country, you know what I see? I see the potential for greatness. When I look at them, that they know that they have that greatness in them. And it is the men and women of this platform that want to bring that greatness out of all the young people that we have. It is time for all of them to say, I am the greatest. And we can be the greatest. And in being the greatest, individually, it means we can have a great country. I started saying last week, when it comes to health care of this country, the men and women on this platform accept one basic principle. Health care is a basic human need. A basic human need. No differently than water, no differently than having a house, no differently than having safety. It is a basic human right that you have. And how are we going to solve that problem? It means we must have a health care insurance program. Every single St. Lucian must have access to health care. Whether you are employed, whether you're working with the government, whether you're an elderly person, or whether you're unemployed, every single person in this country must have access to health care. And the men and women on this floor will make sure that every single St. Lucian, with no excuses, will have health care before we finish our first term. But to do that, you have to have the courage to make the right decision. You cannot accept and say there is not enough money to provide health care insurance. You must find a way to do it. Because it is unacceptable in 2016 that St. Lucians have to make the choice as to whether they can go to the doctor or not. Or they cannot get a prescription because they cannot fill that prescription. or a father who has to watch a child die, or watch his mother, his wife suffer. These are things that are not acceptable in our world. And the men and women on this platform will not accept that anymore. We expect greatness for this country, and part of greatness is making sure that everybody is going to have access to health care. We have repeatedly said that the education system in our country must change. The greatest engine for change in education starts with the teachers. You cannot pay the teachers as little as we do and expect them to be great teachers. We have to put the teachers in our society to a much higher standard. We have to expect more from our teachers, but we have to be willing to pay more for our teachers. If we want to see greatness, it is going to start in the schools. If we want to see young people to aspire to live their dreams, it must start in the school. We must make sure that the family has the resources to remain a family. I want to say here, in Grosley and Rodney Bay are going to be one of the engines of growth for St. Lucia. We cannot continue to see the opportunity that is here go to waste. Yes, we have hotels here, but we don't have enough hotels. Yes, we have rooms, but we have to make sure we have the better type of rooms. We have to bring tourists here that are going to have money in their pockets. And I agree with Spider. It's time for Grosley Friday night to be every night of the week. I want to see people in Grosley having their own guest houses. I want to see people in Grosley having their own restaurants. I want to see people in Grosley having their own boutiques. And I want to know that they can make a success of themselves. Because unlike the Labour Party, United Workers' Party people, we love to see our people succeed. We love to see our people succeed. We want to see the greatness in our people. I want to say to you that leaders cannot do it alone. It must be us and we. We all have to be leaders. We all have to be competent. We must put our best practices forward. And I'm going to say to you that I have an expectation. And I know that every single person here has an expectation of themselves to be the best. We understand the magnitude of the problem that we have in St. Lucia. And we realize it is only through action, change, to make things change, that these things are going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a long road ahead of us. But if we want to have change, change requires us to change. The United Workers' Party has changed. We have become a modernized party. We've become a party that's serious. We're a party that has a group of leaders that are ready to do the job. But we now need you to join us in that mission. We need for you to change. And the first step to change is to go and vote. We cannot change if we do not take out this Labour government. So when I hear people say the United Workers' Party is divided and I may not vote for you, I ask myself, so who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for a government that promised you better days and didn't give you? Are you going to vote for the party that offered you jobs, jobs, jobs and fooled all the young people? We now have the highest unemployment. We have the highest level of debt. And you have a government that continues to blame everybody else for the problems that they have. Well, the United Workers' Party is ready. We're not divided. We're all strong individual people who are passionate about our country, who are passionate about excellence of this country, and who are passionate to make a difference. I'm asking you to join us on that fight. Join us on that journey to make St. Lucia great again. Let us be the best place to live. Let us be the best place to work. Let us be the best place to invest. And let's be the best place to visit. And I promise you, if we all strive for that greatness, there will be a day in St. Lucia's time, not so long in the future, where St. Lucians will not require a visa to go to America. St. Lucians will not require a visa to go to Canada. St. Lucians will not require a visa to go anywhere else in the world, because everybody will know that St. Lucians are happy at home. Let us make our home the best. But as I said, that change starts with us. Each individual person must be willing to change. You must have the courage to make that first step forward. And I am so proud of the men and women on this table because they have made that first step. They are not scared of being victimized. They're not scared of saying that one solution to be the best. They're not here to make excuses, but they are here to explore the opportunities for all solutions. I want to say to you that Kenny Anthony is scared of Alan Shastney. Why? Why? Because I am going to bring out the greatness in United Workers' Party. I will get all of us to work together to be a better country. And I will get one nation acting as one. Because we in United Workers' Party believe that it must be a benefit for all. Este has it best. Este for all, United Workers' Party for all, solutions for all. It cannot be a place in which only some people have and some people don't. So I want to say to you, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I want to implore you to support Spider Montoot. He's a great man. He's going to do great things for the constituency of Gros Islet, and he has a contribution to make to this country. And I openly and aggressively support him and say to you, United Workers' Party is ready. Are you ready to join us? Thank you very much.
Like the Dutch, flub, Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot. Hello, Mr. Spider, them cannot run you out. No. Flabo got the flame, they could never put it out. No.
I'm pushing it and she taking it out.
Dreams, how hear me out, my people, let's go Spider Rocket. Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot. Rapestate, web them, Casaba, web them, Cozile, web them, Bosseju, web them, Bonte, web them, Rodney Bay, web them, Braidtree, web them, Moshi, we go web them. Hello, Mr. Spider, them cannot run you out. No. Flabo got the flame, they could never put it out. No. This Labour Party go leave you in a drain. So hear me out, my people, let's go Spider Rocket. Wado Watch, web them, Marisil, web them, Corin, web them, Conivier, web them, Pegazon, web them, Kaimaje, web them, Monnier, web them, Monchiro, go web them. Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 for Spider-Man, dot, dot, Brody on, dot, 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 we want him man, dot, dot. Hello, Mr. Spider, them cannot run you out. No. Flabo got the flame, they could never put it out. No. That Labour Party go leave you in a dream. So hear me out, my people, let's go Spider Rocket. Montoot, a member of UWP, is the right man to run the Gros Islet constituency. Like the Dutch, like the Dutch, like the Dutch. Flub.
Mama Flabo é só power. Mama Flabo é só power. Mama Flabo é só power. Jope, muito. Jope, muito. Jope muito. Jope muito. Jope Shastney,
right to debate. But you cannot, when the Prime Minister says, give derogatory comments against a member of our party, and our party member responds to him, you want to speak to our party member as though you are his father scolding a child, or a school teacher scolding a student. That is not your role. And that is why we have to call for his removal from the House. And so, as we promised, we are sending the information up to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association and asking them to review the performance of the Speaker of the House in terms of his treatment to our parliamentarian. And then we will know what to do next. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our work to do. Now we have a short man who we saw.
Professor.
Okay, professor. We have a professor in the house. So, Mary, you need to introduce our professor.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? This is the gentleman. When he comes here, he always has his facts and his figures. That is why he walks with his books. He has his facts, his figures, and he can prove everything that he says when he stands on this platform, the platform of the United Workers' Party. We don't come here to give people MEPWI. We don't come here to talk about people. We come here to tell you the people's business. And so as we continue along that line, I want you to put your hands together and I want you to welcome Honorable Guy Joseph.
You want to wine and you cannot wine. I pushing it and she taking it out. Nowadays all DJs turning artists. You signing Joseph, you put in my fist. Since when that's your
Hey doctor, Mr. Speaker, politics is around the corner. Mr. Speaker, Munda ele bangai toreda. Mr. Speaker, dagading and chibola. Mr. Speaker, Gaza, I think that's your rule. Fix up yourself, control yourself, Mr. Speaker, you cannot tell me nothing because you're not my boss. Mr. Speaker, politics is around the corner. Mr. Speaker, Munda ele bangai toreda. Mr. Speaker, dagading and chibola. Mr. Speaker, Gaza, I think that's your rule.
Since when that's your rule? Since when that's
Bonsoir Mama Iflabo. Good night to all. It gives me great pleasure to stand on the platform of the United Workers' Party in the constituency of Grozile with the newly endorsed candidate for Grozile, Leonard Spider Montoot. And let me tell you, this seat is coming back home to the United Workers' Party. Now, tonight, I bring you special greetings from the constituency of Castries Southeast. Now, I heard the Prime Minister said that he will spend a lot of money to make sure that I don't win the seat again. But tell him, even if he gets the 4 billion of Juvali, that is not enough to win the seat in Castries Southeast for the Labour Party. Because you see, it's the people's business that we are dealing with. Now, before I go into the meat of the presentation tonight, I want to sound the alarm. You saw the Weekend's Voice newspaper. You see there are 30,000 names on the newspaper that they are raising questions about. These names, they cannot be found. They are not here. Now, Badu Abai, Kimania all of a sudden, Hotkak to avaya sa voters list, ek 30,000 moun apeya pasipose asu voters list la. Now, I'm not yet criticizing the electoral department, because tomorrow I expect when the doors open that I will be at the office of the electoral department. But I have a concern, because the issues of elections falls under the purview of the minister or the prime minister. Now, if you ask me, I don't trust Kenny Anthony. Maka trust Kenny, ek maka trust anye in charge of. Now, I have started my work in scrutinizing the voters list in Castries Southeast. And so far, I have come across more than 50 people who vote in the constituency, live in the constituency, never change residence, but their names were not there at the last election. Now, nous tout ici on swear ek nou ka di flambeau hagen. Lana kopati moun ki te gozi le hote ka fe round the island. Le hote suppose vote by spider. Avant hot party I fe round the island. Ek le kouye hot pou vote. Hot party la because hot pat saviye pou le. We cannot win the election if your name is not on the voters list. Now here's the problem that I have. Here's the problem. They put 40,000 names. They didn't put their address. They didn't put their ID card numbers. They didn't put the polling station at which they were voting. So am I supposed to go through the entire 40,000 names? Exilani sismun kini mem noa. How would I know which one they are taking out and which one is on the voters list? Now this is something that we need to be concerned about. And Mr. Political Leader, I am hoping that a team of us will show up at the electoral department tomorrow morning to begin to clarify this matter. Now, in my hands tonight, I have a copy of the Constituency Boundaries Commission report for St. Lucia. You know, I took the government to court for the way they wanted to cut the boundaries. Now, Mr. Montut, I'm coming to deal with Grozile. Except muna kivle vote by Emma. Mwen vle remind you, Emma di constituency a top go e ki pasa represent whole constituency. So you may have here about JQ sejou sa. So mwen vle sav sa I ka fe la ek bay ki kompani mouni ka pale. Because you see, we must stop let politicians take us for a ride. Nou ni pou do bout politician pou nou pou a papi show a peyi sa. Hodi a yo vle votu, yo ka vindu, yo ka representu. Le yo ge pou representu, yo ka do constituency a top go. Ek because yo te vle coupe, ek nou di yo pa ka coupe, abweza yo sa represent whole constituency ako. Let me tell you something. You know why politicians take advantage of you, the people? Because you allow us to take advantage of you. And we must tell all politicians who come with these tricks to go back. So Diema diu ki les cho an gozile ivle represente. Ek only muna chosa an gozile ki suppose vote bali. When Spider was your representative, he represented the entire constituency without complaining. Emma pou fè delane an gouvernement. Constituency a hatop go. E ou passe tout patou, ou beg tout moun, vote ba ou, I will give you the best representation. Ipo na lane. Now, mwen vle di misye Pep Oswea dan la jase moun nan yi ka draw pou seklane a in pou pote yi viye. Let me tell you something. I'm serious about this. You can laugh if you want. A man cannot present himself, send his application for a job, say what he is going to do, and when he is employed in that job, after getting paid for 4.5 years, he is saying, I could not do the job. I didn't have time. So it means you draw the taxpayers' money under false pretense. And let me tell you, I am pressing the United Workers' Party to take Pep to court and let him pay back into the treasury the money he got for the work that he did not do. And let me tell you something. Badousa, Usam se ba isa ka fe mwen fache. Because a man in his right mind cannot do something like this. Now say either Pep kaped tetli. And if he is losing his mind, then can he continue to practice as a doctor in this country? Ou ka draw l'argent toujours. Et ou ka do pan temps pour faire travail là. And I don't care if you support the Labour Party. I don't care if you don't support any party. I don't care if you support the UWP. This is nonsense. And the people of St. Lucia must say this is not right. Now I am telling you, Claudius can sit on his side and Leo Clark can sit on his side. Pièce Tiboy pas supposé vin présenter koyo pour représenter Jean Saint-Lici. Là yo pas à faire travail là. And Mr. Dominic, I hope that you take on this issue in ancillary canneries in a very serious manner. The people of St. Lucia have been taken for a ride for too long in this country. And I cannot understand. Pep should have resigned on the day he said he did not have time to do the job. And the whole of St. Lucia should be marching to say, we want your resignation and we want our money back. Mamele si yo force. Si yo force ou, pa draw l'argent pays. And you know what? You know why politicians will always do that to us? Why? Because we refuse to stand for what is right because of which color we support in. And I'm telling you, right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't care if it's Flabo that do it or if it's Labour. Si a Flabo vin diou. Si a Flabo vin diou, mate sa fait travail là, il supposé porter l'argent, il draw avier. So let us understand what is happening here. Lana company politician, yo ka draw seku. Ek ou même là, yo do jobs. Ek juste toujours, presque 5 l'année, ou pour un job. Now, so on the Boundaries Commission, when Emma comes to Grozile, tell her if Labour Party wins the next election, y'all will cut the boundaries. Which piece of Grozile will you be representing? Now, since I'm in Grozile, I have a couple of questions for Miss Emma Hippolyte. In a statement to the Parliament of St. Lucia on Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2015, on the Lombards Academy, this is what the Honorable Emma Hippolyte said in the Parliament of St. Lucia on June 3rd, 2014. I instructed the chairman of the Trade Licensing Board to call an urgent meeting of the board to review the application. Now I want to ask the minister, since when it is your role to instruct the chairman to call a meeting? So, sa chairman na ye, a rubber stamp. Because Puki sa isa chairman, si pa sav ki le isi pose kuya meeting pou adwese travay like affair. So Miss Emma Hippolyte, did you have any say in the appointment of the chairman? And if you had any confidence in the chairman, could you not trust the judgment of the chairman to call the meeting at the appropriate time? Since when it is the role of ministers to instruct boards as to what they should do and when they should do it? Now, Bandusa, you do say Alan ki dictator. You do say Flabo ki pasav sayo ka fe ek se Flabo ki dictator. So mwen vle sav sa emate le idea parliament I instructed the chairman. Now se pa sa sel my di, tan sa idea ko. It is subsequently, prior to instructing the secretary of the Trade Licensing Advisory Board to issue the trade license. Utan sa ako, prior to instructing the secretary of the Trade Licensing Board to issue the trade license, the chairman of the board and I had further discussions on the application. So Emma, who granted the trade license to the Lombards Academy? Ki moun ki bay lisans la? Ese Emma, ebe ese board la. Now tan sa toujou, hear this again. On the 9th of March, 2015, the Cabinet of Ministers appointed a subcommittee comprising the Minister of Education, the Minister of National Security, and the Minister of Commerce to review the matter and report to Cabinet. Now, people of St. Lucia, let us understand what is happening here. Kenny Anthony D say Nuki fair impacts. That impacts happened under the United Workers' Party. I tell you, Kenny Anthony is a liar. Operation Restore Confidence happened under UWP, but impacts, Kenny Anthony is 100% responsible for impacts. And tell him if I lie, take me to court. DC mati mene melodious because say lie di for ebe mwe for la se jusa atu. So I want him to take me there. Now, policemen who are trained and qualified in investigations, you say they cannot investigate themselves. You bring investigators from Jamaica. So why you didn't bring investigators from Jamaica to investigate Lombards? So même se mouna qui te involved à di daila sa investigate koyo Robert Louis ek Emma Hippolyte ek Lako Benye. Ini a plan for national security. It is close to his chest. He had presque seklane ek close to his chest. Pièce Jean Setlisi pahav ki plan pour address crime. So Dr. Anthony, when you come in and talk your foolishness that you call an address to the nation, stop insulting the intelligence of the people of St. Lucia.
Yo, Barton! Hey! Ha! Look at what Ferra! If that's it, they shot by a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it by a baby Ferra. If that's it, they shot by a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it by a baby. Cause Jean Awaje, the pastor, the chaste, Tata, Ronnie Ferra. Mission na toi Cabodio, tout for the boot. Is some chele badu boot. Flabo go like the root. Put the mini bugs on me, look at what Ferra. If that's it, they shot by a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it by a baby Ferra. If that's it, they shot by a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it by a baby. Cause chance have him out of eye. Quand passe kaya kai, mande moun pour vote bayi. Kene touti mamai, c'est clané si me gwen. Ferra kai pilone. This general election, ti kwa ini bourgeois Ferra. If that's it, they shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take ti kwa a David Ferra. If that's it, they shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take ti kwa a David. Cause Jean Awaje, the pastor ni chaste, Tanta, Ronnie Ferra. Bon mission na toi Cabodio, tout code the boot. Is some chele badu boot. Flabo go like the root. Put the mini bugs on me, look about Ferra. If that's it, they shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it kwa a David Ferra. If that's it, they shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it kwa a David.
From Bogota and Medellin, and when you see they are pushing it, billions of dollars they laundering. They push so well. They form the Cali cartel. Now Bonnie's done and Gabu gone, and they blame it on Nicky Dan. But who is the Dan behind the Don? I want you to understand. The war is a war for minds, even among we Calypsonians. Remember I pose a question, I ask them for their husband. Even Bull lashing out his tongue, cause Mary G. Coon out to the song. They say I have too much power, this country boy you must sing along. Just because I took on the media, they say I cannot win crown. So no, I'm not going to London, my calypso. I would rather watch bamboo flowers grow. I'm going to London, my calypso. Mr. Bassman, let that rhythm flow. I'm going to London, my calypso. They want to choke me so tongue. They want to circumcise me so long. They want to control what I write in song. You play film, we're going to put out the long. But no, I'm not going to London, my calypso. It's me pick on tongue, me culture gave me. I'm not going to London, my calypso. Just to ease the pain of black slavery. I'm not going to London, my calypso. So go tell me Queen, Lauren and Valerie. I'm not going to London, my calypso. I have no platform, TV or paper. I'm going to sing like me forefather. Oh, oh, ah, ah. Oh, oh, oh. They're so subtle, manipulating. They use the media for so. It's a vicious war that they're waging, from playing music to their talk shows. They preach and teach and punch their holes. They utilize all controls. Our rapists and pedophile have public opinion running wild, with propaganda and domination, causing destruction in Milan. Them knew these pictures were so perverse, taken by Mr. Universe. Remember who wrote a Kaiso, who told you it was a CIA. But remember he told you about Afro-Caribbean people today. They would fight you down forever. Tell this cause it's just for a crown. But tell them I will not surrender, not until I give you this cup. No, no, I'm not going to London. I would rather watch bamboo flowers grow. To London. So Mr. Bestman, please let that rhythm flow. I'm going to London, my calypso. They want to choke me so tongue. They want to circumcise me so long. They want to control what I write in song. You play film, we're going to put all day long. But no, I'm not going to London. It is me pick on tongue, me culture get me to London. Just to ease the pain of black slavery.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. You know, someone told me when you retire, because you all know I've retired from the public service, yeah? I'm not a public servant anymore. Right. So I've retired from the public service, and my people from Castries East have come, the wise people from Castries East have come and said, Fortuna, come and lend a hand. And so I'm here. I'm here. So ma mic flabo ezot pawe pour moi. Ma mic flabo ezot pawe pour moi. All right. But si zot pawe, nous ni tout travail. Nous ni pour travail. Nous kay travail. All right. Bote mwen ten zot, si zot ve travay. Mamay denri, ko zot? Denri? Soufouye? Awa soufouye, mwen ten zot, ha? Soufouye? Castries? Castries East? Castries East? All right. Bon, I've heeded the call of the people from Castries East, and I'm here. And all I ask of you is to believe. Believe that we can do it. Believe that it can be done. Believe that the change is coming. Believe. That's all I ask of you to do, is believe. You know, the people of Castries East, I'll tell you something. The people of Castries East have said, they've looked at the situation in St. Lucia and they've said, Fortuna, we need an elevator. We need somebody to lift our spirits. We need some move. We need to rise. We need to rise, Fortuna. We need to rise. And so I'm here with you so we can rise and we can get that elevator. We need an elevator for all those people who have been victimized and stood the test of time. We need an elevator for all those people who have been brought to the table and promised transparency and good governance. And so many things are happening in the dark. So many things are happening in the dark and we just don't know. So we need an elevator for all those people who have been taken for a ride, even agreeing to constitutional changes. And just to satisfy one man, to bagay boot. We need an elevator for those who have the contribution to make, but they are afraid to come forward because they are afraid that they'll be beaten and abused. We need an elevator for you, our faithful young people, who are aspiring to achieve your goals, but the road is rough. The road is rocky. We need an elevator for all the fathers like Mr. Chasney, who's supporting his son with action and not talk, and is having a rough time. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We need an elevator. We need to lift up those men in our society who are supporting their children with action and not just talk. Come on, St. Lucians. I want to hear you say it. Come on. Come on. We need an elevator for all those people who are suffering, for the elderly who are treated with disdain. We need an elevator for all those people and all those young mothers and all those women who are encountering difficulties in managing their homes. We need an elevator. We need an elevator. We need an elevator. We need an elevator for all those of you who have felt the wrath of Kenny Anthony's administration and the Labour Party. We need an elevator. And finally, we need an elevator for all the potential victims of the next wave of the Labour Party attack. And I am here because they will attack. They will attack. But what we will do is we'll stay focused with this United Workers' Party and march them out of office. So we need your help, ladies and gentlemen. We need you to work. We need you to work your communities. We need you to support your delegates. We need you to support your candidates so we can march them out of office in the year 2016. Thank you so much.
Children of the darkness, come out into the light. Bring the lamp out your causes when an expose and bring us to
Global marching to victory.
with fire.
I took you to school a short while ago, and I told you for St. Lucia to grow. But I knew you forget that already. For St. Lucia to grow. At this time, brothers and sisters, we're moving. I would like to bring in to speak on the platform here one of our deputy political leaders. He didn't give them bicycles, you know, but he gave people little huts so they can be entrepreneurs and make money, brothers and sisters. But your Minister of Health, the representative from Babuno, she took them away, and up to today, no one can tell you what happened to those huts. Brothers and sisters, I present you with the man whom they stole the elections from, Mr. Ezekiel Joseph.
To the gold crisis, everything gone up. To the gold crisis, everything gone up. Everything gone up. Sugar gone up, flour gone up, rice gone up.
Thank you very much, Aussie boy. Good night, Mama Flobo. Mama Flobo Boswa.
I'm encouraged tonight to see so many of y'all in Dennery South. I'm here once again to give support to our brother Edmund Estefan. I'm sure those of you all who have been following the politics for a very long time would remember in 2005, 2006, I was one of those who was on the platform of Esther for All, asking you all to support him. And I must say that I'm happy that the people of Den Resolve have given the full support to Brother Esther. And then I have no doubt, my brothers and sisters, I have no doubt that you all will do it again when Kenny so decides to call the general elections. So tonight, Esther is for all and not for some. Esther is for all because that is the attitude this guy have. This guy does not behave like Labour, only giving jobs to people who support the Labour Party. And I want to tell you something, and I'm sure that Honorable Guy Joseph would agree and attest to that. Esther is a good representative. I work with Esther in cabinet, and Esther represented the people of Den Resolve very well. Sometimes nous nous disons Esther, c'est pas Bouchouillon qui fait nous ça. Nous ni l'autre parliamentary representative, and that would not stop Esther for representing his people in cabinet. So my brothers and sisters, the United Workers' Party will win these general elections. We are going to win. Once again, we are going to be back in the governances of this country. And you need to see to it that Esther represents you in the cabinet and in the parliament. Because he has proven himself as a good representative. But you know what? I want to say something. You all know the negative impact the policies of the St. Lucia Labour Party is having on us. And we cannot take it any longer. We cannot leave Kenny Anthony there for one more term. We have to remove him. And if Kenny so decides he is not going to call elections this year because Nathan he'll go the full length. Nous kay fait Kenny kouye election si par le kouye by the middle of this year. Are you ready? Are you ready to make Kenny call elections in the middle of this year? We cannot go further than June for elections in St. Lucia because we cannot take it any longer. We cannot continue to suffer any longer. The fishermen in Dennery cannot suffer any longer. The farmers in Dennery cannot suffer any longer. So we have to tell Kenny enough is enough, and he has to call the elections to free St. Lucia under the guidance of the St. Lucia Labour Party. They have failed us. Their policies have failed us. But you must do one thing. You must do one thing. You must make sure that you go out and vote. You must make sure that your neighbor, your brothers, your sisters, your friends must go out and vote. And those Labour Party supporters who are disgruntled with Labour, make sure they go out and vote for the United Workers' Party. Make sure they go out and vote for Esther for all. Because in 2011, remember, we were in government. Remember, we were in government in 2011. And our supporters, Wage, Ezekiel Wage, Esther Wage, Spider Wage. What happened? Ezekiel Gay? Ezekiel gained the night of elections, yes? But 2 days after, Ezekiel paid. Osav, sapani pou fête encore. That must not happen again. And if you want to see, and I know you want to see, that your country is governed by men and women that have the experience, because people are not questioning the ability of the United Party to govern. People are not questioning the ability of this country, because we have the track record in this country and providing policies and implementing policies that impact positively on every St. Lucian. We have that track record. They say we divided. And that's what Kenny is using now. The United Workers' Party is divided. Mama, I want to tell you here tonight that your party is united under the leadership of Mr. Alan Shasley. We have men and women who have had the experience in the respective fields that they have the opportunity to work in agriculture, in tourism, in customs, in foreign affairs. We have experience on this platform, and that is why you must put back the United Workers' Party to govern this country. And I want to say that the policies that we have for agriculture, I want we are going to produce new technology in the fisheries industry. We are going to change the way our fishermen are operating, because we need to bring on board technology that you can benefit from, technology that will make things much easier. Young persons involved in the fishing sector. And I know, Denry, you are ready for it. I know Denry has a number of young persons who are interested in fishing. I know Denry has a number of young persons who are interested in agriculture. So you need a representative to speak on your behalf. And that representative who has started speaking on your behalf and will continue to speak on your behalf is Esty. But we all know that everything in this country has gone down. Agriculture, fini. Programs we put in place to encourage our farmers to realize returns on their investment, all the infrastructure change. Be a little patient, because you cannot take it any longer. But the time will come. If Kenny Pakakuye election about June, look at match, look at descent castry, look at the election, because nous pass our point any longer. I want to tell you one thing. Yonila, because Motan Babono, you can pay Moon Poirali. Motan Babono, Super Avenue Rally, you baraba step. I want to tell you something here tonight. Do not allow the largesse of the St. Lucia Labour Party to fool you. Do not allow the money that they're going to spend to fool you. Pas quitter ça kwenon. Because si yo kwenon, bal fini, violent. Si yo kwenon, fini. Do not allow the money to fool you. Si yo ba ou la point la si yo ba ou bwe, point bwe. But in elections day, go and vote them out. Because you need a house of. You need a I want to say that the men and women on this platform did not get paid to run elections. They came and they said they want to run elections to represent their respective constituency, because they are not happy with the way things are going on in this country. Because we cannot take it any longer, and we have to remove the St. Lucia Labour Party on the backs of St. Lucians. And we have to bring in a team of men and women under the leadership of Alan Shastley to govern this country and to bring back prosperity in St. Lucia. I want to say thank you very much, and I'll be there with you along the way. Support. Thank you very much. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. To support brothers and sisters. The man who kept Denrisov warm. He kept the people of Denrisov happy. He took care of you, brother. He's a man of few words but action. I now want to present. Everybody in the room, my colleagues, and all of you. No. So, let me start this evening by giving free chairs to our women. This week it was International Women's Day. So let me give free chairs to our women. Hip hop! Hip hop! Hip hop! You know, the women of our country, they have 10 hands. They have 10 hands. They do everything. They are masters of all trades. Thank you, ladies, for serving us. Thank you for being there for us. The only way I realized I could have changed things in the Denry South constituency. So I ran. And I always used to tell my friends before, you know something about me, I am well prepared. To me, it is easier to win an election than becoming. And I worked my way. I became the candidate, and the rest is history, as you know. So, I realized that this village was in a dilapidated state. This place was ugly. All of us love Denry, but Denry had a lot to be desired. There were so many things that were wrong with the village. And let me give you a few examples. The Denry Hospital had become a health center under the Labour Party. There were few motorable roads in the constituency. There was an unreliable water supply and system. Every time the Denry people didn't have water for them to drink of life. You know, that touched me. Within a few months, that was done. You know, we spent no time and effort putting things right. Residents in Denry couldn't sleep at night when it rained. You know why? Because there were no drains in the constituency, especially the places on the hills. No drains. So I had to come in and fix all of that. Now the Denry people can sleep well. Because when it rains in Denry, water is channeled through the different drains and not on the people's houses. The schools in Denry were in a deplorable state. village, a kind of derelict houses all along the high street, our main street. Come on. That was a shame. Residents had tremendous difficulty accessing their homes. The roads were in bad condition. There were no footpaths. So I had to set up a plan and go and cut roads and bring roads to the people so that at least they could carry their groceries. A vehicle could drop them by their homes. Now that is just to name a few. But most of these things have now been fixed. So my vision in this constituency has been partially fulfilled. If you look around you, you will notice some key projects underway. For example, the rebuilding of the Dennery. We did that. We set up all of everything. Everything we had to do, except the starting of the work. So behave yourself, Albino. Don't come to Dennery and just talk a lot of nonsense. Construction of the new hospital. If you notice, site at Boajoli, everything was in place. Money was set up by the World Bank to do that project. What Alvina come in and talk about? I chose the site for the new hospital. I chose the site. When this hospital was reopened, I remember they had a skit. The Labour Party had a skit. They had somebody to come out and give a skit about they don't want to go anywhere. It's the old hospital they want to keep. Now they want to come and boast about the new hospital that is being constructed. Shame on you. Let me tell you what happened. When 3 weeks before Thomas, we had flooding in the village. And by the way, I managed 2 floods in Dennery. By the end of the first week, Dennery was back to normal. Oh, tell these people, you have a worker in Edmund and Stefan. Tell them behave themselves. But we will get down to business soon. The construction of the new infant school, they don't want to start it. I had to the Dennery infant school. I set it up. I debate with my colleagues in parliament that we need this school. And so everything for the refurbishment of both Clinton Mason and the primary school. That has been done. Bravo. Ladies and gentlemen, the one closest to my heart, the upgrade of the Dennery playing field. There's some nonsense going around. We'll deal with that a little later on. Although I've noticed that I might not have much time tonight, but we will deal with that in due course. We constructed 2 parks in the village, Park North and Park South. They call Park South a park kosher. Now all of them are enjoying it. That's the most beautiful park in St. Lucia. When we do things for our people. We don't joke. We don't mess around. We achieve. We are achievers. So the improvement of the water supply, like I said, Dennery now has no water problems. The only time we do not have water in Dennery, when there are heavy rains and the rivers are silted and so on, so they have to close the water mains to prevent all the dirt from coming in the pipes. That's the only time. The highway and the main roads have been repaired. Like like my brother said, before we came into power, come on, the buses didn't even want to drive up in Dennery anymore. They didn't want to. So what you think we did? We got on that immediately and repaired. We repaired so many things we did in Dennery. I mean, it's endless. We have limited time tonight, but we will get down to business. So, let me put this to you. Just imagine, especially Denrians, imagine the Dennery Primary and Infant School, the Dennery Daycare, which construction will start soon. Another thing, they're trying to delay the construction of the daycare. They don't know that I was involved. I wrote to them and I tell them I need a daycare in Dennery. Listen, I am a pioneer. I know I'm a pioneer. Everywhere in St. Lucia now, they're doing T-Canal. You remember in the house they call me T-Canal? I am a pioneer, visionary leader. I see things long before they see them. So tell them behave themselves. But you see, they come to Dennery and talk a lot of crap. I have to deal with them. It's a pity I don't have time tonight. So I plan to put a walkway or a jogging path around the facilities, the recreational, sporting, and social facilities in Dennery. That will prevent people from going on the highways and jog on mornings or walk on mornings. That's plan that has been there. And if you notice, all we're missing is the walkway around the football field. That's all we're missing to complete that track and to light it up. We're having a little difficulty because Labour don't want to do the field project. What they say is, what they said after sports minister, you're supposed to take care of the young people, provide facilities for them, and program their activities. You telling me, if you do that in a constituency, you will make me look good? Nonsense. And you call yourself a man, and you saying when you in the house and I speak, you get nervous? That's why you getting nervous. Because you should be ashamed of yourself. You're supposed to do the facilities for the young people. You're not doing it, and you're saying it will make me look good? Man, I had my time already. I had my glory days. I ran as an athlete. I was the fittest man in St. Lucia. For years. Those days are gone. So don't come to Dennery and talk foolishness. You're nervous because when I talk in the house, it's like a pin going through your back. I sting when I talk. Labour Party is afraid of me. And you know what? They're afraid of God too. Every time I mention God in the house, they're running for cover. So they devise a plan. They devise a plan to prevent me from talking in the house. Mr. Speaker, I have a message for you. I don't have time to debate you in the house. I don't have time to debate you. You see what you always do to Guy? You tell Guy, sit down. You can never do that to Edmund and Stefan. Never. I don't waste my time debating you in the house. I don't waste my time. You see, I was elected by the people of Dennery South. How were you elected? How did you, the speaker, get inside that house? You were selected. You were selected by a pharaoh. And I will get to that in a little bit. When you see people there and they come, you all want to wake them up. My people of Dennery, a gymnasium to be constructed at the back of the police station. The blueprints for that have already been drawn since when we were in government. Maybe this is where we're going to place Mr. Pharaoh after we get into government. To be the manager in that gymnasium. You say you are a fitness specialist, that is where we're going to place you. So, my people of Denry, the list goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, all this could have happened in 10 years. All of this could have happened in 10 years. But you see, Labour Party had a plan for you that you were not aware of. Labour Party came with that. Labour Party came with that devilish slang, whatever they call it. I don't want to repeat that nonsense. They came with that thing, and they placed a spell on the nation, and they had you to vote for them. But there's a lot more I have to say on that. Labour Party, behave yourself. You see, I will come and I will walk with a poster that is written on it, God, because they are afraid of God. Devilish people.
Give shows of hope simply by just walking in. The moment you entered, we should have surrendered right then. You had a vision for all in the community. Your massive project shook the earth under me. You fixed all the roads and you light up our fields. Oh Bradley, you are delivering. Treat the youths right till the putting up a fight.
Bravo country, good night. The gentleman told you a very young man, the Madje young ago. Moi pas Jay young encore. L'âge là ça a monté. Moi ça style parler. Maman il plan. Nous en Denry South, un area Estefan, un homme je connais et un homme qui a fait bien dans l'area ça. Est-ce que Stéphane a fait bien dans Denry South? Toutes les. Bon, ma voulais pour dire temps because Ozzy c'est pour moi toujours fait moi ça massa pouti. I need you to focus on the last 4 years. Think back of the last 4. The destruction of St. Lucia is on the hands of Kenny Anthony and nobody else. Because it can't be your pastor fait. C'est ça il dit il fait, c'est ça il a fait. So it is on his hands. Like they say, blood is on his hands. 4 years ago, Kenny Anthony, so vacantoué. Si balé pour Alan Chasney, for the United Workers Party and Mr. Alan Chasney, we will never be paying $10 a gallon of gas today. It had to take Alan Chasney to demonstrate, to match, so we could get the prices of fuel down in this country. We have to remember those things. 4 years ago, Kenny Anthony came in office while he said that VAT was a burden on the people of St. Lucia. What did he do as soon as he got in? 15% VAT. We have to be mindful of the last 4 years. Never try to forget that. My message is about the last 4 years. I heard they're giving computers and laptops and television, flat screen TV. Don't be fooled by these gifts. Remember, the United Workers Party was the only party that put money in your pockets. And that's the party that will still continue to put money in your pockets. You
have to remember the last 4 years. Kenny Anthony is who I am after. They have come after me. I am after them. Kenny Anthony is responsible for the destruction of St. Lucia. I will never stop saying it. People of Dennery, when you vote for the other candidate, not Estefan, in Dennery South, you are voting for Kenny Anthony. You are not voting for any other member of the St. Lucia Labour Party. You are voting for Kenny Anthony. And this man, this is the man that is destroying our country. Vote for Edmund Estefan for a better Dennery South. He has to continue the good works he has done. But Mamai Flabo, qui ça nous voulait l'année ça? Qui ça nous voulait? Qui ça nous voulait? Qui ça nous voulait? Flabo, c'est le seul parti qui a fait pays ça à devant. No other party. You could look around you, everything you see around you in St. Lucia, United Workers Party is the one responsible for that. Nobody else. So I swear, my Flabo, moi pas de préparé pour swear, mais yo couille moi. Vote for Edmund Estefan in 2016 et 17 qui l'a couillé là. Edmund Estefan qui a fait Dennery plus belle parce que hier, moun qui travaille, nous avons tout ça nous voulons. Maman Flabo, nous allons parler encore. Good night.
Thank you, Champagne. Now you know this is the only party that give you a serious sound check. Because Brother Champagne came good and strong. This was a serious song check, Brother Champagne. I am happy with this song tonight. Brothers and sisters, how can we come to Dennery without giving you a local speaker, brothers and sisters? We will have a young speaker, Miss Aria Desi, who is going to address you tonight. But then I hear a little commotion at the back there, and I think it may be your political leader. Your political leader, the Prime Minister in waiting, Kenny's nightmare, Nomla Kenny Peck. The whole of Labour afraid of Alan Chasney. The whole of Labour, brothers and sisters. So before I bring up this young lady, let us have the commotion quiet down a bit, brothers and sisters. Give me some music, DJ. Members of the Mikusov branch, Mikusov people, they're asking you all to come up to meet your political leader and Prime Minister in waiting. Music, DJ.
Action speaks louder than words. Don't be deceived by all those fancy talkers. Action speaks louder than words. Don't be deceived by all those fancy talkers. 'Cause a man can say, he'll turn your night into day. And a man can say, he'll take your sufferings away. And a man can say, he'll roll your dark clouds away. When it comes to showing, gonna take some knowing, yeah. Hey, action speaks.
Mr. Butch, vote Mr. Butch. I want you to vote Mr. Butch, 'cause you ain't gonna regret your vote. There we go now, vote Mr. Butch. Vote Mr. Butch. I want you to vote Mr. Butch, right now. Tikwa, boom. Here we go now. Vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch. Big Daddy now. Vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch. Big Daddy. Vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch, vote Butch.
Ufu. Then we know. Operation Therapy, Operation Backlog, yo pattern. Hey, ha. Look at what Farah, help that's it. The shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit. Now me take it a vite Farah, help that's it. The shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit. Now me take it a vite. Cause Shona Waje, the pastor the chasse. Tansa, Ronnie Farah, no mission na toi kabodio. To cut the boot. Some chele badu boot, flabo go like the root. Put the mini bugs on me, look at what Farah. If that's it, the shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it a vite Farah. If that's it, the shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take it a vite. Cause chance a vi mal travail, kapa se kaya kai. Mande moun pou vote bay, kene touti mamai. Se klane si me gwen, Farah kai pilone. This general election, Tikwa in the bush when Farah, if that's it, the shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take Tikwa a vite Farah. If that's it, the shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit, now me take Tikwa a vite. Cause Shona Waje, the pastor the chasse. Tansa, Ronnie Farah, no mission na toi kabodio. To cut the boot, is some chele badu boot. Flabo go like the root, put the mini bugs on me. Look at what Farah, if that's it. The shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit. Now me take it a vite Farah. If that's it. The shot for a back seat. 6 a.m. when the clock hit. Now me take it a vite.
This election was like war among them party. When I was more than sure they win already. Hustle Phillips said tell them that's the last of PNM. But when the rest complete, is he who end up without a seat. Not a damn seat for them. Mama, that's what Chamber said. Not a damn seat for them. Not a single seat on election day. Not a damn seat for them. How they lose they can't understand.